Hi everyone, welcome to the Semiconductor Student Alliance Company's social media page. This is our first video. Here at SSA Co, we envision a future where technology empowers humankind. I'm Donna Laredo. I am an ambassador for SSA Co from the Purdue chapter, and I'm here. I'm a student at Purdue studying electrical engineering, and I'm a part of the events planning at the Purdue chapter. And I'm here with Joey Lopez, one of the company's co-founders, and we're going to be doing an interview with him today. So go ahead and tell us about yourself a little bit.
Thank you, Donna, for such a wonderful introduction and setting this all up today. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be in this wonderful podcast room, so thank you so much. To do a little brief background on myself, I'm currently a graduate student here at Purdue University studying electrical engineering. Some of my concentration is in quantum mechanics. It's kind of gross, but I love it. It's a hobby of mine. So one of the reasons why we have come to this point today where the Semiconductor Student Alliance Company is growing and has been founded with the wonderful volunteers and ambassadors is that about a year and a half ago, we launched the Semiconductor Student Alliance Purdue chapter. And I have to give credit where credit is due. The University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign was actually the first person to create this idea. And we fell in love with it. With great support from Purdue University, I was very lucky to be able to go to Washington, D.C. to give an introduction to Dr. Arthi Prabhakar, who worked at the White House Office of Science, Technology, and Policy, as well as be able to go on to a study abroad in Belgium. I really wanted to be able to share that opportunity with other students. So with great support and great help from the students here at Purdue, we were able to grow to a student organization of 200 to 300 students right away. So I knew that what we were doing was special. It resonated deeply with the students, and I was hoping to provide this on a national level to address the semiconductor workforce problems of today as we onshore hundreds of thousands of jobs. So that's a little bit background of myself. I guess additionally, I am from Indiana, true. So I'm from Northwest Indiana. And I've gone to Purdue University for my undergraduate, so I'm really hoping to invest this organization in the state of Indiana to also combat the brain drain and some of the other problems that are looming today's society. So that's a brief introduction of myself.
Great, yeah, and I'm very proud and very glad to be a part of that Purdue chapter. We really are growing in an exponential trend. Speaking of which, I would like to ask you about the trend that you have in mind for SSA Co. So where are we right now in that trend? What would the trend in the future look like? And how exactly would our social media interactions, help the trend out?
Yeah, so to expand a little bit about what I said earlier, the trend really is there's extreme momentum behind the semiconductor industry and its workforce needs. That was the initial problem statement for the organization. And that's why we are here today and why we have so much support from industry, academia, and the government. How I see SSA Co growing and providing these opportunities is we envision learning opportunities to span just beyond content. And I have an analogy that I've given to some of the volunteers before is that if you want to become a lawyer, you know exactly what you want to do. You know you need to take the LSAT, which classes to take, which student organizations to participate in, what colleges are good for that, etc. What SSA Co envisions is creating those learning opportunities and experiences for students to go and spread the word around the country, that this is an industry with tons of innovation, tons of possibility, and realistically, if you think about anything today, this laptop, the podcast setup, it is all composed of semiconductors, which is very exciting. So as we launch out these social media strategies, we're hoping to engage and excite these students that may not know about these opportunities. For example, I give this analogy all the time, but I grew up in Northwest Indiana where most parents would drive to U.S. Steel or BP Whiting. They have no idea about these opportunities unless a couple people go to university and somehow find to be in the same place that I am, where I got very lucky to be chosen for research, etc. So how do we also create the interdisciplinary creativity to spread that word and mission to lower the barriers of entry into the industry and the field. So that's where I see the trend going, and we've already seen huge momentums in that, where we have student organizations at different universities, other universities interested in starting their own chapter, and we hope to lower the barrier for that chapter development and leadership development within the industry. And I can say confidently that is going to happen with SSA Co.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see the future alongside with you. Following up on that, I would love to ask, how can individuals, without a technical background, we talk a lot about how creativity would really help the semiconductor industry boom, as we have seen it already. So how can individuals without that technical background, not specifically students, because of course they can go ahead and explore their campus's chapter, or at least starting one, how can those people get involved with supporting SSA Co?
This is a wonderful question, because this is one of our biggest initiatives at SSA Co. Is how do we, when you're talking about onshoring a whole industry, you're not going to just need the semiconductor engineers, the physicists. You're also going to need the interdisciplinary engineers alongside the people in business, supply chain. That yields different problems. People to develop the narratives behind technology. That's the School of Liberal Arts, philosophy to define problem statements. So realistically, this is going to be an all hands on deck, and the possibilities are endless. Innovation in the past has always been bolstered by combining different thought frameworks together. If you think about Apple, you think about Samsung, those companies thrived on pushing the limits of creativity and innovation through human connection and challenging each other's thought frameworks and collaborating in unconventional ways. And at SSA Co, we hope to bring those individuals together. For example, our first events, thank you for the plug, this transitioned very well, but our first event is an ideathon called the Silicon Civilization Challenge, in which in April 26th, we hope to, and that date might change, but we're pretty close to finalizing that date, where we hope to bring in about 100 students, about 20 teams of 3, of 1 business student, 1 engineering student, and 1 liberal arts student, to come together to force that interdisciplinary thinking to come and find ways in which semiconductor technology can empower humanity. That's the theme of the Ideathon. So we're hoping to create more opportunities like that to really unveil the true possibility of collaboration and creativity within the semiconductor field. And I believe this will yield longevity and sustainability for our workforce problems.
Yeah, that's great, and that's really inspiring. I'm really excited, for those future events for SSA Co, to be a part of to spread the word and, really grow alongside SSA. We're all growing alongside our company, or this company. So, and then finally, again, tying back into what you were just talking about, for my last question, I'd like to ask you if you could achieve one systemic change in how the world views and values the semiconductor industry, what would it be, and how do you think, if you think, SSA Co would have the potential in joining or starting that movement?
One thing that I believe is a misconception in today's society, and actually I'll change the negative connotation, I think an opportunity for today's society is to shift the idea that all technology has to be utilitarian. We see semiconductor devices be a phone or be Excel worksheets or AI, and kind of have a very general view. And that's partially due because we're in the first inning of all of this. The hype cycle will do its justice. But also, we have to think that historically, I'm going to be a nerd, but the printing press, when it first came out, was used for massive exploitation. You would, one neighboring city would print out a ton of newspapers to another city, and slowly people started to realize what was going on, and that this possibility with printing media can be utilized to connect human beings, and by connecting human beings we can share ideas and grow together. And so that is what I envision with SSA Co, starting the movement in which technology, specifically semiconductor technology, is being applied to empower humanity. In the aspect, some of the examples and SSA Co is trying to do that through our interdisciplinary pilot projects, in which we hope to get students together to create artificial intelligence ran on semiconductor chips to battle misinformation on media. or we would like to have a partnership with any mini fab or university fab to develop semiconductors to look at contaminants in water to provide clean drinking water to humans. My overall theme or message is that technology has become so advanced and so open source, there's no reason why we should have the problems we are dealing with today. And if we are able to create a movement and inspire others that they are able to do whatever they want and truly believe in that, I believe that this technology will create that trend where we start applying it to solving some pretty chronic problems in today's society that are very achievable. And I think with students, they can accomplish anything. I've seen Purdue students day in and day out surprise me with what they're able to accomplish and what thoughts they're able to put into execution and action. So that is something that I hope SSA Co can help create the foundation for, and I believe that we will.
Great, yeah. So you really believe that, SSA and SSA Co, they say everyone has a place in the semiconductor industry, but, it really is everyone, right?
Correct. It's going to be a grassroots movement, and that ties in a little bit to another message. We officially have been named a 501c3 nonprofit, so you guys are more than welcome to go to our website to learn more about our movement, ssaco.org. And if you guys are interested in helping with this grassroots initiative, we have our own donation page at ssaco.org/donate-today. And again, that is 501c3 status, so you are able to, we will send you the details on how to deduct that from your taxable income. I know tax day is coming up soon, but that really will be momentous and will give us, those investments will allow us to unveil a lot of these programs that we have planned between ideathons or any other interdisciplinary pilot projects.
That sounds like an amazing plan for the future of SSA Co. Thank you so much for this interview. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and talk to me.
Thank you so much, Donna. I appreciate you setting this up and having wonderful questions. Thank you so much.
Of course. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.
Thank you.